In the last 5 years, between 50 to 100 homicides have occurred yearly in Toronto. Although Toronto is considered one of the safest cities in the world, we still need people to serve and protect Toronto's citizens. Mike Carbone, retired detective sergeant, dedicated years of his life to serving this cause.
I was a police officer for 33 years. I started in 1986. I wanted to become a police officer because I wanted to be able to help people. I was very fortunate. I spent some time in uniform and then I moved and transitioned into a plainclothes detective investigative units, several different investigative units. A break and enter squad, units that involved thefts and assaults. And I was promoted from a police constable to a sergeant. From then, again, I was fortunate enough to move and transition into a detective office. After doing work in the detective offices, I joined the Toronto Police Homicide Squad. And then for the last 11 years of my career, I spent working with this specific unit. The most interesting case I worked on was an individual that we arrested for several homicides that occurred in Toronto. The individual was identified as Dylan Millard. I'd never seen the level of violence that was ever perpetrated on another human being as it was on that day. He was ultimately convicted of 2 homicides here in Toronto and then 1 homicide in Hamilton. It was worthwhile in the sense we held someone accountable for their actions, which was important for the family and for the community. But ultimately, it was certainly something I had never seen before. The bulk of the work involved speaking to witnesses, obtaining statements from them. Ultimately, those statements and the review of all of the actual forensic evidence and the DNA evidence that we obtained. Ultimately, that particular constellation of information was put together. Ultimately, this individual was convicted on both of those homicide cases. I don't think I would be honest if I said I wasn't nervous. It would be unhuman to say that you're not nervous. Certainly there are times where you become nervous just because you're not sure of how to proceed with certain investigations. However, as you get more experience, the level of nervousness decreases. There was a little bit of an impact. However, I was able to deal with it because I had support from the family and support from the organization by way of the organizational mental health support. Having children while I was a member of the Toronto Police Service it had a great impact because not only would I need to perform my duties as a police officer, but I had to perform my duties as a father and as a husband. So I always have to try and balance between my work life and my family life. Because the message that we put out to the public only comes through the media. So I saw it as being a beneficial way to have my message out to the public and have witnesses come forward. So I needed the partnership to help solve these very, very difficult, complex cases. Being a police officer was the most rewarding career I could have ever had. I truly believe that every day I went to the office, I was feeling like I did something productive, that I was helping the community, that I was keeping people together. I was moving, the whole community forward to make everyone feel safe and comfortable, and hopefully, it made my family a little better, and it certainly made me better.